You're not dreaming, you're actually at an innovation conference in Ballard, of all places. And for those of you that remember the old Nordic Heritage Museum, this may seem a bit of a stretch, but it's really core to the museum's values and mission to be sharing Nordic culture in all of its aspects with the broad community. We really see ourselves as a convener between the Northwest and the Nordic region. And that deals with art, culture, history, innovation, technology, every aspect of Nordic culture and the culture here in the Pacific Northwest. Over the past 10 years, we've been planning this new museum and thinking hard about our mission. We focused on the values of openness and transparency, social justice, gender equality, innovation, new solutions to old problems, respect for nature, and stewardship. So innovation truly is at the heart of our mission. That's all sorts of innovation. Viking Age innovation, mid-century design, or the tech innovation that's been so incredibly important over the last 20 years. Here at the museum, one of our goals is to serve as a hub, a convener, and this is a great opportunity for us to exploit that mission. What you're going to have today is a coming together, sharing of ideas, looking at problems through new lenses, recognizing our shared values and approaches, building and strengthening networks between our region. And with any luck, a few new partnerships will come out of this. So we don't really see innovation as something new. It's part of our character, and it's been here for a long, long time. And during lunch, I hope you get a chance to take a look at the exhibitions on the second floor, where we explore about 10,000 years of innovation from a Nordic perspective. So take the break, go upstairs, take a look at the exhibitions. It's been a long journey for us. This conference would definitely not have happened without the fantastic panelists and moderators that you're going to see. I want to thank the advisory committee, Petra. Maybe you guys can stand up and take a round of applause. Petra's the past president of the Swedish Chamber of Commerce Board. Martin, Anna-Maria Borkenham, I don't know if Maddie's here, Soko, Greg, Matt, Vigo. And there were hundreds of people that worked on this conference and volunteered probably thousands of hours. But I have to thank a board member and the chair of this group, Ericsson, who made this possible. And relentless is not a word that I would use very often, but Berger's commitment to making this happen has been just that, driving us to a new level of professionalism. And one of the folks that bore the brunt of that was Eric Peel, our coordinator and director for outreach around the public campaign. So I want to shout out to Eric too for pulling this together. Our presenting sponsor, Ericsson, has been fantastic. I got to say this would not happen without you guys. Thank you very, very much. eSmart Systems US, Nordic Semiconductor, Norwegian Maritime Authority, and of course the Swedish American Chamber of Commerce. Anyway, again, welcome to the new Nordic. We're going to make this an annual event, and again, appreciate your support. Now, I'd love to have a big round of applause for board member and committee chair, Bergerstein.
Thank you, Eric, and I'm so happy. It really, really warms my heart to see that this day is finally upon us. We've been working on this since I think the Erics had it. It's very simple with two Erics. You can kind of just leave it to Eric. The Erics had a little glimmer in their eye about how we could make this opening month for the new museum a truly inclusive experience, and an experience that showcased how the museum is not only about history. You will notice that the word heritage that used to be part of the museum name has been dropped, and you're very much part of that transition as you sit here today. And warmly welcome to the inaugural Nordic Innovation Days in Seattle. It's not only today, we also have a Nordic Tech Tour for many of you who are visiting, and many of you who are representing local companies will participate in that. A little bit of a smaller forum, visiting Amazon at the excellent Spheres facility downtown. We're going to get to see how Starbucks innovates in their roastery, courtesy of their Norwegian second third generation immigrant, Kevin Johnson, their CEO. As well as we're going to see Microsoft and their executive briefing center, courtesy there of, I don't think quite as Nordic, Vahe Tarassian. Last I checked, it was French-Armenian, right? And you'll hear more from Vahe in a little bit. So at Ericsson, so why would we put on an innovation conference in a museum? There are a couple of reasons for it. But as you can see, at least if I can find the arrow here. Oh no, Eric, there we go. As you can see on the wall out here, just around the corner, this museum is there to welcome people of all backgrounds to discover the values, traditions, arts, and spirit of the Nordic people and Nordic peoples. And you know, these are kind of highfalutin words, values and spirit, and you know, you can't really see it. This is stuff you see every day in businesses, in companies that innovate. In fact, I think you could say that, you know, business and technology really puts values under stress. And under that stress of values pitted against temptation and resistance, you can really discover and explore what your true values are. So we think business and connecting business life and the new businesses in Seattle, as well as the traditional ones, is going to be very much core to the museum's mission going forward. Now, if you're here from locally, if your passport is American, you may ask yourself, you know, what are the things that, as Americans, we can learn from the Nordic countries? And I think there have been quite a few suggestions to that over the last couple of years. You know, more immigrants was one proposal by the president. One, you know, single-payer healthcare was a proposal by, you know, a presidential candidate. So there's a lot of kind of wishful thinking about some of this stuff. But I think that the one thing that I'd like to highlight is, as citizens of Nordic countries, you're just incredibly aware that there are 25 million of us. There are 7 billion people in the world. So unless you meet the world with openness and an ability to connect, you're just not going to matter, because you're just too small. I mean, percentage-wise, and you'll hear more about this, you shouldn't even know about these places. They shouldn't be producing unicorn tech companies, but they do. And in my personal opinion, very much because of the openness that comes from an awareness that smallness is not linked to insignificance, but smallness through openness can mean a lot of significance and impact. Now, what can a Nordic guests learn from being here? Hopefully, we can, as the only Nordic museum in the world, the one that's in Stockholm isn't really a Nordic museum, let's be honest. You know, they call it that because Swedes like to think that you know, they're the Nordic. But this is really a mirror that we're holding up from 5,000 miles away to what, you know, Americans and others will think of as Nordic values and Nordic culture. So hopefully, just by seeing that mirror, you'll also be able to reflect on what it is to be Nordic and what it is to run business in the Nordic countries. My excellent Microsoft machine has decided to log out, and I actually do need the rest of my manuscript to finish this up. Vahe, should this really happen? Should it not recognize me at this stage of the game? that must be it. All right, got it. And you know, we aim to continue to put the museum and its historical mission at the center of both culture and business life in Seattle. The queue of content that we build through this event is such that we've already started planning next year's event in 2019. We hope to see all of you and more here then. But we really have both audience and content for the next one lined up already. So for now, warmly welcome again. I hope you enjoyed the discussions, that you have face-to-face meetings, you'll see performances, you have food and drink, and I hope you enjoy it as much as we've enjoyed putting it together.